Okay, what's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to a Thursday edition of Morning Scone presented by Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic, Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com, Restored Motions, RestoredMotions.com, and ProCharge EV, ProChargeEV.com. Speaking of Restored Motions, going today. Slipped something in my back. Thankfully, not debilitating. Crystal has gotten me to the point where I haven't had one of those episodes since right before Ida, before the UCLA game. So it's been 2.5 years since I've had a really bad episode, but did something, a little twinge in my back, so I am really excited to not excited, but thankful to go see Crystal today and get this worked out of my back. So if you got pain, Crystal Poche, Restored Motions. Okay, let's get into it here. So you'll see what I have there in the description. We'll get to a lot of stuff, but as always, drop your comments, questions, etc. LSU got a visit from five-star safety DJ Pickett yesterday, and it's a big deal, man. That's number one safety in the country for the class of 2025, as he just keeps steamrolling for 25. Now, Pickett, it was thought to be a Michigan, Alabama, Florida, Florida State, Georgia. Those were his stated teams. He's out of the state of Florida. Well, of course, Jim Harbaugh has gone to the NFL, and Nick Saban retired, which seemingly would open the door for LSU, which has opened the door for LSU. And not only did it open the door, but for consideration, but they got Pickett on campus now. He's a 2025 kid, so he won't even sign until December. So a long way to go in his recruitment, even if you were to commit somewhere else. But the fact that you got him on campus is, this soon after Harbaugh went to the NFL and Saban retired is amazing. So still thought to be a Florida lean, but Corey Raymond was recruiting me at Florida. And now Corey Raymond's in Baton Rouge, so he very quickly got him to Baton Rouge. I mean, I laugh at the fact that I had to go so hard to convince some people why bringing Corey Raymond back was the right thing. I mean, I know a lot of you agreed. I know that, but make no mistake, there was a contingent that wanted to go a different direction, that did not want Corey back. And I mean, just like that, boom, you get a commitment from Jabari Antoine, five-star DJ Pickett's visiting you. I mean, it ain't no coincidence, y'all. He's that dude. So, and look, it's a long way to go with DJ Pickett, but if they're able to get him, I mean, think about what you already have for 2025. You've got the number one quarterback, number one overall player in the country in Bryce Underwood, number one receiver in DeCorian Moore, who's the fourth overall player in the class of 2025. You've got Harlan Berry, who's another top 10 player in the country, number one running back for 2025. You just got Jabari Antoine, Devin Harper, who committed yesterday or Tuesday night, who we talked about yesterday on the show. Number 3 player in Louisiana. So you've already got the top 3 players in Louisiana committed for 2025. And by a wide margin, you have the number one class in the country already for 25. So the other news, of course, Harlan Berry was on campus yesterday as well. Actually, not Harlan Berry, Terry Bussey, excuse me. So Terry Bussey, for those that don't know, is the five-star out of Texas, and five-star athlete, likely to play defensive back. Excuse me. He is an A&M commit, but when Jimbo got fired, decided not to sign in December to leave his recruitment open. Still committed to A&M and still thought to be an A&M lean, but he'll sign next Wednesday on the February signing period. But the fact that LSU got him to campus and was able to put on the hard press, within a week of signing day is great. So he is going to A&M this weekend, is my understanding. So we'll see what happens there. But LSU could pull off a coup in the 11th hour and get Terry Bussey, which would be a major coup for this 2024 class. Because keep in mind, and one of the really cool things, if you saw it on Twitter X, is so LSU has really done a number on Texas A&M's class. So Weston Davis flipped from A&M, Gabe Relaford flipped from A&M, Cohen Eccles, Dominic McKinley flipped from A&M, Jordan Gilbert transferred from A&M. Well, they did this graphic where it's like a text chain among all those guys, and they're all like on the text bubble. You coming too? Back like I never left. Welcome to your new home. Been coming home. Home is where the heart is. Well, anyway, so the bottom one is Terry Bussey saying, "Wait for me." So, all the guys that have already flipped from A&M or have transferred from A&M are on that. It's a graphic they did, but you can tell, man, they're putting on the hard press for Terry Bussey. We'll see if they can get him. Okay, let's say some good mornings here. See what y'all got. As always, please YouTube, smash that like button, subscribe up to the channel. Facebook, please like the Matt McMahon page, share the post. Adam Parker, Jacob Thompson, Trivia Carter, Matt Plavidal, Rex, Wendell Norman. Good morning, y'all. Damon Hinderberger. A great interview with Matt McMahon. Thank you, man. Yeah, so I had a chance to talk to Matt McMahon yesterday, and it's challenging. I think someone might have even mentioned this asked me about this yesterday. It's challenging sometimes because all the sports usually practice or playing games when I'm on air or getting ready. So like if it's a game day, if LSU plays at 6 or 6:30, well, I can't get Matt McMahon on my show. I mean, they're at the arena, they're doing shoot around, you know what I mean? So, and then they usually practice whenever I'm on air. Well, there's no game this week for men's basketball. They play Saturday again, but they had the week off, the midweek off. So they practiced early yesterday, so I was able to get Matt McMahon on in hour 3. So look, Matt's been he's been good to me and always been very approachable and candid, and I've had a lot of chance to talk to him, over his nearly 2 years in Baton Rouge now, but a good dude, and I'm really hopeful for him, to be able to get through the grind that's coming, y'all. I'm telling you right now, February is not going to be easy. You got to win on Saturday. You got to beat Arkansas on Saturday at home, because after that, the next chance you might have to get one might be a home game against Mississippi State on like February 24th. So, be patient. Understand the grind is coming. Gary Petrie, morning, Uncle Scone and family. Zach Swan, William Moore, Taylor Hudson, Devin Kelly. What's up, man? Trivia, Matt. Having trouble exchanging BNB to Gamecoin on my Trust Wallet. Any tips? Remember, you have to swap BNB to Smart Chain. So you have to first convert Binance to Binance Smart Chain, and then you swap Smart Chain for Gamecoin. So that's probably the mistake you're making. There is a how-to video, instructional video of how to, like a step-by-step instructional video of how to do it if you haven't done that yet. Austin Kidder, good morning. Abner Neal, morning, Matt. I've been telling my friends about how pleased my wife and I are with Brock and Hammond. Thank you so much, Abner. I love it. Thank you so much, man. That's fantastic. Really appreciate it. That's been a big push for Brock. Is they've got 6 locations all over Greater Baton Rouge and obviously in Tangier Post. So they want to make sure that they're pushing all the satellite clinics as well, and so their Hammond clinic is fantastic, and the docs there are awesome. So thank you, Abner. I appreciate it very much. Terry Walker, good morning. Let's go. February signing day. Brant Roban, good morning. Heard you talking with Jason Swain yesterday. He didn't have much to say talking LSU UT baseball. I'll be at those games in a few months to smack talk these Tennessee fans. Swain's a great dude, man. One of my favorites. Known him a long time now. So Swain played receiver at Tennessee. He was a team captain. Y'all, you might remember the name. If not, you probably heard him on my show over the years. But Swain's a great dude, and we give each other all kinds of crap. So it's fun to talk. Yeah. So I had him on yesterday to talk a little bit about the Tennessee NIL thing that's going on. I mean, the Attorney General in the state has sued the NCAA. Basically, Tennessee is fighting back. Like, the NCAA is investigating Tennessee for NIL improprieties, and Tennessee is like armed and fighting back. Like, bleep you, we're not cooperating this time. And so they're going hard after they retaliated. They're suing the NCAA. Okay. Brian Penn, good morning. Hey, Dad, good morning. Silo, good morning. Antron Hemingway, what's going on? Good morning. Wacky Chris. Joey B19, how crazy would it be to close with the #1 class and not have one of the top NIL programs? The advantage in the dirt, man. But you get the best players in Louisiana, obviously. You'll have a chance to do that. So now they're not going to get the #1 class this year, like for 2024. But if you're talking about 2025, yes. But credit, they've done a great job. Where do you allocate your NIL funds? That's a big part of it. Jason Horn, good morning. Charlie Cavell, Lowell Cormier, Kelly Gross, good morning, y'all. Good morning, good morning. Michael Cook, Josh DeVilliers, morning, Matt. 2025 class is being recruited by Keelan Moses. Kid's going to be a great leader. I really hope that Keelan Moses ends up being a great player as well. So if you're looking at the thumbnail on YouTube today, the picture is DJ Pickett, the 5-star safety who visited yesterday, with Keelan Moses. Keelan Moses, after Devin Harper committed, tweeted jokingly, "Man, I really should be on payroll." But he has been the Pied Piper for this class, and it's interesting because obviously everything that happened with Dylan. But I was thinking about this yesterday during my time covering LSU, which the first year I covered LSU was 2007. So I think this was year 7. This was the 17th season that I've covered LSU. I can remember 2 players that were really, really vocal recruiter, like while they were commits, that were like the really vocal recruiters for their class. It's not to say it was only these 2, but the 2 that I remember that were the most like public about recruiting for the class and putting themselves out there and whatever, were Russell Shepard and Cardell Thomas. And you probably can figure out the correlation there, which is both based on what the expectation was of them in recruiting, had careers that didn't necessarily live up to that expectation at LSU. Not insulting young people. You understand what I'm saying. I'm not being insulting. I'm not criticizing. I'm not calling them busts or anything like that. I'm just saying, whenever you're very public in recruiting and all the fans know your name, then there's like this hope or expectation or more attention on players. So I would love for Keelan to have a great career at LSU as well. Jason Horn, Bubba Smith, Debbie Jenkins, Jeff Jones, Quentin Brakebill, Brennan Kluka, Truax, what up, man? Good morning, good morning. Von Bluesman, Tiger Diver, Taro Walker. You mentioned a contingent of people wanting to go a different direction versus Corey Raymond. Did you hear any whispers, the potential names they would have rather than Corey? No. I'm not sure that it ever got there, Taro. I think a lot of this I've already told y'all, but going back to when Florida came to Baton Rouge this year, Corey was talking to people he knew, obviously, on the field before the game about trying to get back. And there were a lot of people very firmly in his corner about bringing him back. It did not go well with him in Florida. He and Napier did not see eye to eye, which is okay. That's okay. Happens. So, I mean, when I was in New York for the Heisman, which would have been the second Saturday in December, is that right? I mean, the word around there was like, it was done, Corey's coming back, that's why I was very confident in the way we talked about it. But then it didn't happen, right? And that's when I was like, what's going on? Did something happen? And there were just some people who pushed back. But ultimately they got it done. It was the right thing to do. It was the right move to make. So anyway, but no, I don't know that it ever got to who would the other names be. I think it was just the people that were pushing for Corey to come back needed to sell it, and ultimately did, and the contract worked the way that it did. We talked about, and they got it done. Blanche Hudson, no Bammer skill players ever scored a touchdown in the Super Bowl. I saw that. What a weird stat, huh? That no Alabama skill player scored a touchdown in the Super Bowl. You would think that just with all the success of the program over the years, I don't know that there's any correlation to anything, just that that's a weird one-off. Thomas Lamont, more Matt signed the contract for my new Hudco roof yesterday. Scott has been great. Thank you, Thomas. Appreciate that so much. Y'all, holler at us. Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. Got Hudco pinned in the chat. We'd love to help you out. Scott does a great job. We're glad to have him on the team. Deborah Cower, and thank you, Thomas, for giving us a shot, man. Really appreciate it. Deborah Cower, Thomas Primo, let's see, Blanche, LSU and Georgia are the only two teams who had a player in the Super Bowl for the last 23 years. Gorilla, Spurge, Leon Williams. Let's see. Is LSU still 9-3 for next year, or does the defensive coaching star power make them 10-2? It's weird that I think LSU could be a better team next year, but the record may not necessarily show it. Just because of the schedule. I mean, you open up against SC at a neutral site. You got UCLA at home. Oklahoma rotates on. Obviously, Bama, Ole Miss at home. Challenging, man. It's a challenging schedule. Gorilla, did you get any allocated bottles this past hunting season? Part 2, what's your favorite pour right now? Did I? Wow. Yes. I got a William LaRue Weller. Anytime you score a BTAC, it's a celebratory occasion. So yes. I got a Michter's 10-year rye. I got a Weller 12. I got an Elijah Craig 18. Midwinter Night's Dram. Weller CYPB. Yeah, I mean, trust me, man, when it's hunting season, I'm going hard. So I'm never going to come up empty. It's just how big of a score. And this year was significant. My friend Michael, good morning. Had a question about the 2019 LSU team. When did you realize it was going to be a historic team? Was it before the season? No, definitely not before the season. I'll tell you a story about that too. That year at SEC Media Days, you can go find this clip if you really want to look for it. But at SEC Media Days that year, Joe Burrow was talking about the offense. He goes, I think we're going to score 45 points a game. And everyone kind of like rolled their eyes and laughed. Because keep in mind, coming off of 2018, LSU won the Fiesta Bowl, but they were 9-3. Like the year before, they were 9-3, went to the Citrus Bowl and played Notre Dame. So 2018, you're 9-3 again. But the way the rest of the country fell, like you ended up getting an at-large berth in the New Year's Six and went to the Fiesta. So it looked better than it probably was. And if you remember in 2018, Joe Burrow, I throw this out there a lot because it's impactful. Joe Burrow did not throw a touchdown pass in the month of October in 2018. Went the entire month without a touchdown pass. So no, nobody was thinking that was going to be what it was. I think for me, when I realized what we were watching was the Florida game, because going into that, it was because Florida was good that year and had a good defense and all that stuff. And it was like, hey, and I remember predicting LSU to win and to cover and all that stuff. And it's like, this is the one where if nobody is going to stop this team from doing whatever they want offensively. And so when LSU beat Florida in that game in Tiger Stadium, that was the game where it was like, okay, they're not losing ever. Like they're going to blow everybody out. They're not losing. And I know with the Bama game got close in the second half, but it was Florida. Because remember, you beat Georgia Southern, Texas. But even the Texas game, man, it was 45-38. Like, you gave up a ton of yards and points. They beat Northwestern State, then you played Vanderbilt. And if you remember, Vanderbilt scored, like, you couldn't stop Vanderbilt in the first quarter of that game. Like, they scored on their early possession. People were, like, ticked at David Aranda and all, like, what's going on? So you're 4-0, but you had some flaws then. Then you beat Utah State, and then it was Florida. It's like, all right, well, this is your telltale. You know, you went on the road to beat Texas, but you don't really have a super impressive win. And when they went home 42 on Florida, it was like, okay, nobody's stopping them. And they just blew the doors off everybody. And you could look at the Auburn game at 23-20, and that was the game where LSU had like 4 possessions inside the 10 where they came away with no points. And it wasn't even really close. Auburn had like a miracle sideline catch and scored late. Remember, Stingley muffed a punt, which gave them a short field. But, I mean, it was not nearly as close as the final score would suggest. But anyway. Okay, almost done here. Please smash the like button if you would. Subscribe up to the channel on Facebook. Please like the Matt McMahon page. Share the post. Josh DeVilliers, Matt, did you watch Keelan's interview with Preston Guy and Zach Nagy? If not, you need to watch it. It's so good. I have not, but I will. Thank you. Jim Arsenault, Sean Bennett, Jason Horn. Yeah, man. Pels won last night. Good to see. Went on the road. Snapped a 3-game losing streak. They won at Houston. Needed that one, man. But it kind of is evidence of this team right now, or symptomatic of this team, which is they can they beat the mid-level and bad teams. They just can't get over the hump against the good teams. Matt Lusto, are you going to get the Deke on to talk about a lawsuit against the NCAA? So my dad is a deacon, but in the Catholic Church, he's an ordained deacon, but he's also an attorney. So that's what Matt's referring to there. You're going to get the Deke on. Blanche, I wish Thomas the best. Was very excited about him. Oh, Cardell, yeah. I mean, it's one of those things, man. He was a local kid. He took the commitment. He was a staunch recruiter and drum beater for LSU. Gave it his all. He just wasn't ready to play at this level, man. It happens. It's just a miss. It happens. David Truding, what's up? Jen Gari, any Saints OC updates? Or we're interviewing Santa Claus next? I don't think they're interviewing Santa Claus, but you know, the report from Nick Underhill was that they were narrowing down their list, and you can look at the candidates they've interviewed multiple times now. And of the candidates they've interviewed multiple times, the only one still available is Luke Getsy, the former Bears OC, which tells me they're going with Luke Getsy, they're staying in-house with Ronald Curry, or they're waiting on one of the guys from the San Francisco 49ers, be it Greasy or Kubiak. So I think at this point, you'd have to assume it's one of those 4 guys, unless if we hear a new name emerge. Phil Smith, any Greg Brooks update yet? Not yet, man. I'm glad and a lot of y'all did remind me last week, too, when I asked you to. Barry Jocelyn, what's up? Gorilla BTAC, great. Never an all-out bus. Boy, I wish I had gotten the 5GS to drop. Great job covering the team. I'm rocking with you all offseason. Thank you, Gorilla. I appreciate it, man. Thanks for being there. Okay, y'all, I think we're done. Thanks for being here. If you would smash the like button, as always, shout out to Brock. Remember, if you need an orthopedist, Brock is the best. Had my knee surgery at Brock when I had my meniscus repair. All the subspecialties. I mean, Dr. Brad Collada, pediatric orthopedist, is just not just the best in Baton Rouge, like one of the best you'll find anywhere. He's gone all over the country. We're so fortunate to have him in Baton Rouge. Drew has seen Dr. Collada multiple times. So anyway, all the subspecialties I got you covered over at Brock. And of course, HUDCO Roofing, HUDCOroofing.com. Okay, y'all have an awesome day. Thanks so much for being here. LSU Daily is live, so please on your favorite podcast app, just search LSU Daily and subscribe up. I'd really appreciate it. And then AFR3. Peace.